the crises just keep coming for children. COVID, war, drought, and famine. They can seem downright relentless. But you know what? So can our response. When helping children unites us, we are a force to be reckoned with. Where there is help, there is hope. It's why UNICEF won't stop, ever. Learn more at unicefusa.org/we won't stop.
Oftentimes, the wheelchairs our veterans and first responders receive from their healthcare providers are subpar at best. Some are falling apart, with a years-long waiting list for a new one. This lag causes a tremendous amount of stress for our heroes and creates a burden for their caregivers. Isolation leads to depression. We build what they need to get outdoors, hunting, fishing, or playing sports. Join the mission at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Is your eyesight changing?
I can't read this anymore.
Don't lose hope. People just like you are working every day using Braille, screen magnification, speech technology, and other tools and blindness skills. Your eyesight may have changed, but your goals, they don't have to. We can help. Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
When you struggle with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you get used to not feeling 100%. I thought that was how it had to be. Until I discovered the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. They told me about new medications that weren't around back when I was diagnosed. They helped me find a specialist who gave me a new treatment plan. I'm feeling better than I ever thought I could. Don't settle for not feeling your best. Take action today to take care of yourself. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of St. Francis football. What's going on? It's Nick Jacobs. Pleasure to be along with you here today as the Saints are up from Davenport, Iowa today to take on the second longest rivalry in team history, the St. Ambrose Bees. Right off the jump, let me apologize for my voice, fighting off a bit of a sore throat here. Feel fine. It just really affecting my my throat and my voice, so I apologize for that. We'll do the best we can here. Another basement broadcast as we thank St. Ambrose for providing the video feed for us here right off the bat as a broadcast from my home studio here in Plainfield. They are getting ready right now. They are a few minutes away from kickoff. Looks like they haven't quite done the national anthem quite yet. I don't believe they've done the coin flip yet either, so they are a little bit behind schedule out there at the brand new stadium in Davenport. Typically, it's Brady Street Stadium. But as you can see right on your screen, it's it's called Bush Stadium that they share with a couple other teams in the community out there. Brand new field turf, brand new press box. Although a bit smaller, I'm not sure they would have room for us anyway, even if we could make the trip out to Davenport here today. But here's what you will get. You will get the play-by-play. You will get a University of St. Francis focused broadcast here today. And there sure is a lot to talk about, especially after last week. St. Francis gets the win over Judson, a much-needed win. But the story of the game last week in that home game against Judson that they won 56-26 was the emergence of the young St. Francis Stars. You would like to say perhaps the future is bright, and that is certainly the case. But with all 8 touchdowns scored by underclassmen, either redshirt freshmen or true freshmen, I mean, the future is now for St. Francis, and they're kind of forced into this situation themselves. There are injuries involved. Of course, Sam Tumulty unable to go last week. He'll be unable to go this week as well because of a foot injury. His older brother, Scott Tumulty, who's been a stalwart in the secondary for St. Francis and the kick return game, unable to go there. We've already had injuries to Ryan Little, who's unable to play, the standout wide receiver, also a freshman out of Lockport. He was unable to go. But the good news on the injury front is we will see Michael Johnson back in the game at defensive tackle as the captains make their way out to center field in Davenport, shaking hands. St. Francis, the traveling white uniforms on gold pants, white helmets with the outlined brown Bernie logo. St. Ambrose in the home dark blues, the navy blue on navy blue, white numbers, white helmets with the B logo on the side. Coin flip is in the air. Looks like it's won by St. Ambrose. Let's see what they decide to do here. Will they want the ball or will they defer? They will defer to the second half. So St. Francis will get the football to start our ball game here today. Here's another exciting thing we're going to do. At halftime, the folks at WCSF recorded an interview with Carl Bew, who we didn't get to them as we're talking about the freshman, right? Carl Bew, who's the starting quarterback today, how we're bearing the lead here. In for Sam Tumulty for the second game in a row. It's going to be his third start as a true freshman for St. Francis. He's gone over 100 yards rushing and 100 yards passing in both of those games, actually setting season highs in carries and in yardage last week against Judson. 24 carries. He had, I believe, 175 yards. So Carl Bew looking to make another statement against St. Ambrose here today. He's the reigning Midwest League Player of the Week. As a matter of fact, Brian Mayday, the kicker for St. Francis, the special teams Player of the Week in the MSFA Midwest. There was no Defensive Player of the Week, from what I understand, and nobody was nominated. Of all the teams in the Midwest League, not one defensive player was nominated for Defensive Player of the Week, so there was no award given. But St. Francis did win the two that were. The offense with Carl Bew and special teams for Brian Mayday. As far as St. Ambrose is concerned today, 0-6 on the season, 0-1 in the conference. So a down year for St. Ambrose, which is uncharacteristic of the Bees, typically a very strong program. And I know they've been struggling since last year under head coach Vince Phillip, who's in his second year, only 2-14, both of those wins coming last year. The 15th year with the program, though, much like Coach Curry, who's a St. Francis lifer, was a player, assistant coach, and now head coach. Vince Phillip for St. Ambrose, much the same. A 4-year starter from 2005 to 2008, was an All-American defensive lineman, became the St. Ambrose defensive line coach, did move on, but came back to St. Ambrose, and we will start things off here with the opening kick to St. Francis. Pooch kicking, and they are not giving Joey Tumulty or Gavin Day even a chance. It was Dan Getch fair catching the opening kickoff at about the 28-yard line as we are underway here in Davenport. Well, they're in Davenport, and I'll tell you what, just looking at the body language of the St. Ambrose defense, they look like they're ready to play, no doubt about that. DJ Ocean, their senior nose guard out of St. Charles North, is going to be a problem for that offensive line. But the problem for St. Ambrose has been their defense. There's no doubt about that. Giving up a lot of yards and a lot of points in their 0-6 season so far. Here we go with the opening play for St. Francis. It'll be Carl Bew in the shotgun, sending Joey Tumulty in motion. But the first play, a penalty flag for St. Francis. An ominous beginning for St. Francis. And it's going to be a false start on the Saints. So 1st and 10 turns into 1st and 15. Hopefully they have a short memory and they can forget that one. St. Ambrose lines up with a very similar defense. They go with a 4-3, something St. Francis has seen plenty of times this year. And Carl Bew here finally trying to get a playoff here to start our game. First offensive possession here for St. Francis. Bew in the shotgun, Day to his left. And they give it to Gavin, and an inside run. And right away you can tell. Actually, Keenan Haley is back. That's another injured player that St. Francis didn't have last week, and he is back. So Keenan Haley back at running back and picks up a nice 5-yard gain, getting the penalty yardage back. So it'll be second down and 10 for St. Francis. Carl Bew in that shotgun. Dezion Jordan will be wide left here as they go to second down and 10. They're standing at their own 28-yard line here for St. Francis. Carl Bew takes a snap. He's going to roll right, designed run for Carl, the freshman, but a nice one-on-one tackle made by the guy we mentioned already, DJ Ocean, the senior nose tackle, chasing down Carl Bew for no gain. That's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Back up to the line of scrimmage for Carl Bew. Keenan Haley on his left. A couple tight ends, Dan Gatch on the right and Jake Friddle on the left. Bew, hands up, takes the snap. Here comes pressure from the corners. He'll race right up the middle to the outside, and there goes Carl Bew. A nice pickup, diving for the yard to gain mark, but he's going to be a few yards shy. So opening drive, bringing up a 4th down and 3. I imagine they're going to give it away here to St. Ambrose, a 3-and-out with a penalty to start the game for St. Francis. St. Francis 5-2 this season, 1-2 in the conference with their win over Judson last week. 8 touchdowns, all by underclassmen last week. How about that? Joey Tumulty scored not once, not twice, but thrice in that game. 2 catching, 1 rushing touchdown. Carl Bew ran 2 touchdowns in as well. And this a bad snap, but thankfully skipped into the hands of Brian Mayday. And it hits the ground and takes a huge St. Francis bounce. And did he save it from the end zone? It is down in, oh no, they say he did not get there. Oh, great effort by St. Francis. It sure looked like they touched it before it went into the end zone, but official right there on it called it a touchback. Great punt by Brian Mayday. The snap back to Brian was low, but a penalty flag was thrown. It looks like there's going to be a penalty on St. Ambrose, so erase the punt and give St. Francis a 1st down. Offense going to come back onto the field. The camera was not pointed at exactly where the penalty was thrown, but St. Francis getting new life. And that's another 1st down via penalty, which is interesting. St. Francis has the 14th most 1st downs via penalty. That is now 20 such cases this season. When you look at the opposite side of things, St. Francis has only given a 1st down via penalty 5 times all season. This was their 20th that they have been afforded by opponents' penalties. How about that? 1st and 10 up to their own 40-yard line here for Carl Bew and company. 2 receivers right, 1 left. First throw for Carl, well too tall for Jake Friddle and incomplete. Just a quick out route by the tight end and overthrown by Carl. So offense sputtering a bit here to start the game for St. Francis. Carl Bew, the true freshman out of Joliet West, 61% through the air in his first 2 starts, 257 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Carried it for 38 times for 285 total yards on the ground. Joey Tumulty will be split off wide left. Snap back to Carl from the 40-yard line. He'll throw again to the left, looking for Tumulty, and that one goes incomplete. So 3rd and 10 coming up for St. Francis after being gifted this set of downs via penalty on the punt attempt. The down marker volunteered forgetting his job there. It's 3rd down, and he finally clicks it over. Carl Bew on the shotgun, 3rd down and 10 from the Saints 40 here. 2 receivers left, 1 and 2 right. Haley to the left of Bew in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He's going to have to throw it this time. Pressure comes. He steps up. No one's going to stop him. There goes Carl Bew. He sprinted all between the hash marks and picks up about 16 yards. How do you forget about the athletic Carl Bew? And he takes it across midfield up to the 45 of St. Ambrose. And that has been the bugaboo for the Bees all year long, that defense not being able to get off the field. They had him at 3rd down and 10, but they forgot about the rushing quarterback completely. They got a nice pass rush, but he just sprinted straight ahead, didn't have to cut left or right, and picked up 15 yards. Carl's in the shotgun now here on 1st down and 10. They will give. Nope, Carl's going to keep it on the play action. Off to the right side around the edge, and he's got another 15 yards up to the 30-yard line to St. Ambrose. So it took a few plays to figure out, but two plays in a row here off the bat, getting them 30 total yards. And they mark the ball down at the 29-yard line of St. Ambrose. And he run a 15 and of 16 yards. Here's Bew again. Play action, throw out to the right. Again, just a bit too tall for Joey Tumulty. The accuracy a little bit off for Carl Bew. And I really am excited for you to listen to the interview that the guys at WCSF did with Carl. And it was done last week. It was done before the Judson game, but it was done in such a way that you're going to get a great idea on who Carl Bew is and just what an impressive young man he is. They talk about what's different about being a backup to the starter, difference in preparation. A really great interview we'll get to at halftime. Joey Tumulty in the backfield. They're going to put him in motion out left. Screen pass to Joey. Read well, but he breaks a tackle up to the 30. Breaks another one. Cuts it back inside. Joey Tumulty first down. Joey Tumulty touchdown. That was all Tumulty on a screen pass. He goes for a touchdown, and that is 27 games in a row that a Tumulty has scored a touchdown. How about it? 29-yard touchdown from Bew to Tumulty with 11 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and that is really all because of a penalty on St. Ambrose. Extra point unit on. Hold is down by Cooper. Mayday's kick is up and good. Take a 1-minute break. We'll have St. Ambrose's first crack at it with the football right after this. You're listening to Saints Football on the USF Sports Network.
Staying active and healthy as we age starts with strong bones. To keep your bones strong, you need calcium, vitamin D, and regular exercise. A bone density test called DEXA helps detect low bone mass and bone disease called osteoporosis. If you're 65 or older, Medicare provides free bone density tests every 2 years. Ask your doctor to schedule yours. For more information on how to be bone strong, visit pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
Join me to rally to read 100 books.
Reading is fundamental. The leading children's literacy organization invites you to Rally to Read. Visit rallytoread.org for read-alouds from popular children's authors, including Peter Reynolds, Jason Reynolds, and Elizabeth Olsen and Robbie Arnett. Plus, take the pledge to read 100 books, find fun reading activities, and teachers can enter to win 100 books for their school, subject to rules. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Brian Mayday set to kick it off after the touchdown from Carl Bew to Joey Tumulty. Kick is in the air, and it'll go out of the back of the end zone. If it's as breezy in Davenport, Iowa, as it is here today, it's going to be an issue dealing with the wind. It'll be the first time the St. Francis defense comes out onto the field. Excited to see Michael Johnson back in the middle of that defensive line. Obviously, Scott Tumulty unable to go. He missed last week. I believe he will be missing the rest of the season. So they've had a bit of a defensive shakeup for St. Francis on that side of the ball. Some players playing in different positions. We'll get to that in just a second. First play from scrimmage for St. Ambrose is a carry, and it's going to go for no gain. Ball carrier for the Bees, 26, Jeffrey Elms, one of the two main featured backs. Now it's 50 carries, 215 yards, does average 4.4 a crack. He will be the running back to the left of Tom Casey, the senior who I feel like has been at St. Ambrose for a decade. He'll clap and take the snap. Give to Elms again, cut off on the edge. Here comes help from St. Ambrose. Only 2 yards there for Elms. Going to bring up third down for the Bees. So the defensive changes for St. Francis. Logan Johnson, this is going to be fun to watch because Logan always active, always around the ball, and typically an inside linebacker. Going to play a little bit of nickel today. Keemon Reese, again, another linebacker, going to be playing Scott Tumulty's old position, and a rover is what they call, kind of a center fielder, as St. Ambrose goes long, and maybe the play was dead. It was thrown right to Jalen Cooper. On the 3rd and 7 play, there's a penalty on St. Francis. Perhaps jumping off sides, and yes, 5-yard penalty against St. Francis. So 3rd and 7 turns into a 3rd and 2. 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Opening drive for St. Francis ended in a Joey Tumulty touchdown. Tom Casey in the shotgun has a running back to his right, and the give goes to Elms, but he's cut down at the line of scrimmage. Saints defense holds up a fist indicating 4th down, And it will be fourth down, 4th and inches here on the opening possession for St. Ambrose. A couple other those defensive changes for St. Francis. Tavion Wells is going to play some safety. Jalen Cooper, safety as well. Alan Richards and Carson Hansen getting called into starting action at their linebacker spot as Logan Johnson and Keemon Reese kind of go into the secondary. Keemon Reese is going to be a fantastic rover in the secondary for St. Francis. My prediction is he's going to get an interception today. Nice to see some of those young kids like Carson Hansen, Alan Richards get a chance defensively to start the game against St. Ambrose. They're going to go for it. Oh, no. Okay, so they remeasured and gave St. Ambrose a first down. 1st and 10 as Yemi Ward goes in motion left to right, their star wide receiver. On the ground, though, again and again bottled up. Keemon Reese was there to finish it off, but Nick Franciscovich, the sophomore out of Lockport, the first to make the hit. It was a gain of 4, however, up to the St. Ambrose 44, 2nd and 6 coming up for the Bees. Appreciate everyone tuning in on our YouTube channel. I know a bit different here as we broadcast the game remotely. Tom Casey sending Yemi Ward in motion again from right to left this time. Still haven't tried to throw it. Again, they keep it between the tackles with Elms, but again, he goes nowhere. St. Francis defense looking mighty fine here to start the game. Going to bring up 3rd and 6. As you can tell from my voice, a little bit under the weather. I apologize. 3rd and 5 after the carry. They do give them the 40-yard line. Logan Johnson had the stop there on the end, but some confusion offensively here for St. Ambrose. They want the play. Tom Casey's trying to rush it. He does take the snap. St. Francis going to rush 3, pass off to the right side into the flat. It is caught right near the yard to gain marker. I believe they're going to get it. We'll have to wait for the official spot because it was mighty close. Receiver on the play. Made a nice catch, but they are a yard shy. So 4th down and 1 officially, but they are going to go for it here at their own 44. 4th and 1 for St. Ambrose on their opening drive. And the offense looking again to the sideline. Some of the defensive linemen getting out of their stance. And now looks like the offense is set. Casey calls out the play and the protection. 2 wide receivers right, 2 left. On the ground again, looking for the 1 yard. They get it. Popped by Keemon Reese at the end of the run, but they needed 1 and they got about 2.5 yards. So 1st down for St. Ambrose. It's been all Jeffrey Elms carrying the ball for the Bees. Sophomore out of Springfield High School. He'll be the tailback in the pistol formation. Casey again giving it up, and only a yard to go there. You got to give credit to St. Ambrose sticking with the run game. That was the first carry for Caden King, the junior out of Fairbury, Illinois, Prairie Central High School. He does lead the team in carries with now 78 for 348 yards. Only 1 touchdown, though. St. Ambrose only with 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. 6:43 to play in the first quarter. St. Francis opened up the game with a touchdown drive, aided by a penalty, 1st down. Again, Caden King on the ground, wrapped up. But a flag comes in. Keemon Reese will get another tackle. We'll have to see what this penalty is from. Looks like a spot of a holding on St. Ambrose, though. We'll get the official word. It will be against St. Ambrose as Michael Johnson leads the 10-yard march in the opposite direction for that St. Francis defense. Now, 2nd down and 19 for St. Ambrose. Penalties already becoming a factor for the Bees. 41 penalties this season for St. Ambrose. Just as comparison's sake, St. Francis has 39, so right along those same routes. They're going to give again in an inside run. Logan Johnson's going to be there for the tackle as they push up to the 45-yard line on 2nd and 19. St. Ambrose still running between the tackles, that time with Caden King for 7 yards. Turns it into a 3rd and 12. They have to, at 3rd and 12, I imagine they're going to throw. They do bring in some new personnel. First time we're going to see Terrell Smith on the field, the big 6'4" tight end out of Nashville. He'll be just left of the line. 2 wide receivers on the left side as well. Yemi Ward left. And Tom Casey not ready for the snap. It gets behind him. He just falls on it. Back at the 30-yard line. And another mental mistake by St. Ambrose. The center snapped the ball. The offense wasn't ready. That's going to bring up a 4th down and a mile. They're going to have to punt it away. A mental miscue, again, leading to a disastrous play for St. Ambrose. And again, just a program where you're not used to seeing that type of thing. Of course, St. Ambrose, the second longest rivalry for St. Francis. Second only behind Olivet Nazarene, the team that Saints will see next week at home. Be nice to get back to the stadium. The officials having a bit of a discussion here for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what it's all about. Well, they're marching even further backward. A delay of game now on, or unsportsmanlike conduct on St. Ambrose. Another 15 yards. They're going to have more negative yards than positive yards by the end of this first quarter. We got just under 5 minutes to go. And they're still going backwards. Ouch. 4th down and 42 as the punter now stands at their goal line. St. Ambrose ready to punt it away. Good snap there. The punt is away. Well over the head of Joey Tumulty, and it's going to take a bit of a St. Ambrose bounce. So special teams bails out the offense there as it settles at the St. Francis 42. Yeah, look at this. St. Ambrose, through most of our first quarter, just 10 total yards. Looking for the penalty statistics here. Looks like they don't really have that immediately available. They have penalty first downs, but not penalty yardage. But they got to be close to 50 penalty yards already for St. Ambrose. Here's Carl Bew and company back out after the punt. Fake to Tumulty on the sweep. Carl Bew will keep it up to the 45-yard line and only pick up about 3. Surprised they don't have the penalty yardage available on their live stat sheet, because that's really the story of the game so far, is St. Ambrose shooting themselves in the foot offensively with penalties. Even defensively, they gave St. Francis a first down on their first drive, which ended in a touchdown. 7-0 right now, Saints on top. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Bew rolled to the left. He's going to look to throw, fires on the run. But again, it's thrown to the feet of Dezion Jordan and incomplete, bringing up 3rd and 8. Carl Bew a little bit shaky throwing the football today. Can't quite hit anyone in the numbers. He's overshot, like over the head of a few receivers, and that one at the feet of Dezion Jordan. Carl B in the gun again. He'll take a snap, look to throw here on 3rd down and 4. Rolling right, surveying. Nothing there. I think he's going to try to keep a nice stiff arm at the 50, out to the 45, and that should be enough for a Saint first down. Carl B doing it with his legs on a broken play. Unless there's a penalty, which there is. Penalties all over the place. We've talked about St. Ambrose's penalties. The holding penalty here on the Saints going to wipe away what was going to be a first down. So penalties actually hurting both teams. Hopefully after this first quarter ends, both teams can get it together a little bit. Figure out how to play this game in a cleaner manner. Still right now, just 7-0. Just the second possession offensively for St. Francis. 3:01 to go. Bew in the gun, 2 tight ends right. Play action to the running back. Here comes pressure. Carl Bew is going to go down with a sack. All the way back to the 28-yard line. Colin Gudella, the sophomore linebacker out of Carroll Stream, gets his first sack of the season. In St. Francis, going to have to punt it away after a pretty disastrous drive. A drive that's gone 3 plays and negative 14 yards for St. Francis because of penalties. Snap back to Mayday. He picks it up, kicks it. Fair catch called for and made at the 40-yard line. So St. Ambrose can have decent field position after St. Francis's drive went backward 14 yards. It's an ugly, ugly game. We'll see Tom Casey and this St. Ambrose offense coming back in just 30 seconds.
Sometimes it seems the crises just keep coming for children. COVID, war, drought, and famine. They can seem downright relentless. But you know what? So can our response. When helping children unites us, we are a force to be reckoned with. Where there is help, there is hope. It's why UNICEF won't stop, ever. Learn more at unicefusa.org/we won't stop.
Welcome back to Saints football. They're up 7-0 right now. Second possession for St. Ambrose here in the final minutes of our first quarter. Saints up 7-0. First play of this drive for St. Ambrose, another run by Jeffrey Elms. Only 3 yards there before he was wrapped up and thrown down by Keemon Reese, who's having a great game defensively already. Tight end motions, tight to the line right. There's the snap back to Casey. Fires to the left boundary, looking for the comeback route to Yemi Ward, and they connect right near midfield. And that's enough for a first down. They haven't gone to the air very much. I think it should be a first down. Oh, they actually marked it at the 49, not the 50. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. Tom Casey 2 for 2 through the air so far. Yemi Ward's is the first reception by a wide receiver. The first completion for the Bees was to their running back on a screen. That was the first to Yemi Ward. Going to screen it out again to the wide receiver left, but here comes the St. Francis defense. There was no blocking there. Jalen Cooper, and guess who? Keemon Reese. Keemon in that rover spot is being a menace defensively. Already 6 tackles in the first quarter for Keemon. Again, a run, but again, hit inside, and down he goes. That's going to be a loss. Credit that tackle for a loss to Carson Hansen. 9 tackles, the first time that Carson has been in the offensive backfield. And again, a punt situation for St. Ambrose, unable to move this ball against a very active St. Francis defense. A few seconds left to go in quarter number 1 out in Davenport, Iowa. St. Francis leaves it 7-0. Oh, that was 4th down. And the give here to Tumulty on the first play of the game. And look at Joey go up to the 37-yard line on the keeper. That'll be a first down for St. Francis. Looks like they did go for it on fourth down. That's my fault. I guess I lost track of downs. I thought they were going to punt it away, but St. Francis gets the ball. And they must not trust their special teams either, as that does bring us to the end of the first quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 1 for St. Francis when we come back after this 1-minute break. Saints up on St. Ambrose 7-0.
As a teacher, I should know the answers. But with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, answers don't come easy. Steroids made my gut feel better, but they brought symptoms and risks of their own. A friend told me about the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, and they helped me find a specialist. We talked through the pros and cons and landed on a new treatment. I feel like the guy with answers again. Don't wait. Make sure you have the latest info and the best plan for you. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
Sometimes it seems the crises just keep coming for children. COVID, war, drought, and famine. They can seem downright relentless. But you know what? So can our response. When helping children unites us, we are a force to be reckoned with. Where there is help, there is hope. It's why UNICEF won't stop, ever. Learn more at unicefusa.org/we won't stop.
Flipping sides of the field, St. Francis now going right to left. It'll be 2nd down and 1 after the Tumulty 9-yard carry. Few stats for St. Francis. Carl Bew, a little bit inaccurate in his 5 pass attempts in that first quarter, just 2 for 5 for 33 yards. He does have a touchdown, though, to Tumulty. Bew rushed it 6 times for 30. Tumulty 1 rush for 9 that we just saw. Keenan Haley a run for 5 yards. As we see Tumulty in motion again, he takes the sweep up the left hash marks. Joey Tumulty bowling his way to the 24-yard line. And that'll be a first down for St. Francis, knocking on the door of the red zone again. What a dynamic pair of freshmen with Joey Tumulty and Carl Bew. Get used to hearing those names together for the next 4 years. Bew in that shotgun again. He has Haley on his left hip. And off to Haley this time. Nothing inside and can't break it outside. He's going to go down behind the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle made by Jake Strader, the junior safety out of Wabansie Valley in Aurora. Lost a yard on the play. Appreciate everyone tuning in for our St. Francis radio broadcast. If you do want to watch the game, St. Ambrose is where you need to go. We hope that maybe you listen to our broadcast while keeping that video on. It's Carl Bew here in the shotgun on 2nd down and 11, just underway, quarter number 2. Tight end right, 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. The snap gets through the hands of Carl. He's able to pick it up. We're going to see if he can do it with his legs here. He gets back to the 27-yard line, perhaps getting back to the original line of scrimmage. A miscue there on a snap. We're seeing some sloppy football on both sides with penalties, bad snaps. We saw St. Ambrose snap the ball when the quarterback wasn't ready for it. That was like a loss of 20 yards. And now this time, Carl Bew unable to handle the snap there. Brings up 3rd down and 13. Thank you to Jamie for saying to feel better. I feel fine if it wasn't for a sore throat and a really terrible voice. So my apologies for that. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left here, 3rd and 13. They did lose 2 yards on that fumble. There's Bew taking the snap, looking to throw, fires downfield, and it is complete. Jake Friddle in the middle of the field at the 11-yard line, enough for a first down for USF. Nice pass through the air. 3 completions for St. Francis to 3 different receivers. Tumulty has 1. Jake Friddle now has 1. Dezion Jordan caught a short pass in the first quarter as well. It is 1st and goal at the 10-yard line for St. Francis. Already up 7-0. In the shotgun with Haley on his right hip is Carl. 2 tight ends to the right. They counter. They fake right, go left. Carl on the run in between the hash marks, able to get it up to the 6, perhaps the 5-yard line here. Depends where they mark him down. Actually put it at the 7-yard line, so 2nd and goal at the 7 for St. Francis. Bew in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to go behind Haley, the lead blocker. Turns the edge inside the 5 before Carl is knocked out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 3, from the 2-yard line. St. Francis looking for their 2nd touchdown of the game. Haley, the left hip of Bew. 2 tight ends to the left. Let's see if they run to the big side of the field. Carl takes the snap. They're going to give to Haley. Inside run. I don't think he made it. It's going to be 4th down and goal again. And typically in the red zone here, St. Francis has had a lot of success. 22 red zone touchdowns for St. Francis, which is good enough for 12th best in the NAIA. They score at a 77%. They score touchdowns at 77% of the time when they're in the red zone. That's good enough for 5th best in the NAIA. Instead of trying to go for it, they're going to try to put 3 on the board off the right foot of Brian Mayday. Hold is down by Cooper, and the kick is up and good. It is now 10-0. St. Francis over St. Ambrose on the road in Davenport with 10:32 remaining. We'll be back in 1 minute on the USF Sports Network.
Blind? Low vision? Eyesight changing? You are not alone. Connecting with blind and low vision people can provide support and expand your understanding of what is possible. We are making our own choices every day, but we are also stronger together. To learn more, visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Hi, I'm Peter Sagal, and I'm the 2nd funniest person in my family, next to my late uncle, Ted Skolnick, a delightful man 12 times sharper and wittier than I've ever been. But not a lot of people ever got to know that about him, maybe because he spent most of his life hiding his ostomy bag due to his severe Crohn's disease. He kept that a secret, but when he died last year, he left a large bequest to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, supporting the search for better treatments and support for people like him. Don't feel you need to hide your Crohn's or colitis. Go to spillyourguts.org to learn more.
Welcome back to Saints football. They're on top 7-0 after the field goal by Brian Mayday. The kick is returned nicely by St. Ambrose up to their own 40-yard line. St. Francis, 112 total yards, just 16 total yards for St. Ambrose, 10 through the air, 6 on the ground. They do have more penalty yardage than offensive yardage. St. Ambrose, 3 penalties for 30 yards. So 30 yards of penalties to 16 offensive yards. Tom Casey looking to throw. Here comes pressure, and he's sacked by the entire St. Francis defensive line. Pat Stroja was there. Roby Thelasumi was there as well from his defensive line spot. Michael Johnson wasn't too far behind. And back they go again. A 10-yard sack. They credit Stroja and Thelasumi with half a sack apiece. 2nd down. And now those defensive linemen are really going to pin their ears back. They're just going to rush 3. Screen pass outside was deflected. That was Pat Stroja who knocked that one down right out of the hands of Tom Casey, the quarterback. You can credit that 80-inch wingspan that Pat Stroja possesses. That'll make it 3rd down and 20. And again, St. Ambrose continues to go backward. They cannot do anything against the St. Francis defense that has come to play today. Here's Casey in that shotgun. Empty backfield, throwing across the middle of the field. It is complete. But Keemon Reese, another huge hit at the original line. They picked up 10 yards, but still going to be 4th down and 10 for St. Ambrose. That was complete to Max Gorley. And the punt unit will come on for St. Ambrose. Let's see if they give Tumulty even an option to return this ball. Good snap. The punt is away. Joey Tumulty will have a chance from the 26-yard line. He goes to the right boundary, cuts it back toward the middle, still on his feet. Here goes Joey to the left side, past the 50. Tripped up right at midfield. And St. Francis will have a very short field. Again, you can kind of see why they didn't want to kick it to Joey. Nice play by Tyler Locke, the punter, coming up and making the stop for St. Ambrose. .727 and counting in the first half. Again, stick with us here. I know you're probably watching the video on the St. Ambrose feed. Maybe you got just the audio up here. Stick with us at halftime because a really great interview with Carl Bew, the freshman quarterback for St. Francis. He's making his third start. And some more discussion here by the officials. Not exactly sure what the discussion is about. I don't see a flag down anywhere. Ten to nothing. St. Francis leads it on the road in Davenport against the 0-6 Bees of St. Ambrose. Here we go. First down and 10 for St. Francis. They are at the Ambrose 46-yard line after a nice return by Joey Tumulty. Draw play for Carl Bew. He's going to keep it on the ground. Fights his way up to the 40, a pickup of 6. So 2nd down and 4 coming up for St. Francis. St. Ambrose just 16 total yards. Snap back to Carl. Joey on the sweep to the left past the 40. Rolled up from behind at about the 37-yard line. Looks like he'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. So 3rd and 2 coming up for St. Francis. They convert third downs at about 41%, which is much better than they allow. This defense for St. Francis allows only 27% of third downs to be converted into first downs. The offense goes at about 41%, which is a little bit closer to the national average. Here we go. Bew's in the gun. I believe it's Day on his left hip. Day's going to lead the run. Bew right behind him. He's going to be shy. They needed 2 yards. He only got 1. So 4th down for St. Francis. Kind of like him to go for it here at the 37-yard line. The defense has been outstanding. I trust the offense to pick up 1 yard here. So even if they fail to pick up the yard, I don't have a lot of faith that St. Ambrose is going to march down the field in any sort of way. Two tight ends right. Gavin Day on the left hip of Carl Bew here on 4th down and 1 at the 37. Maybe a hard count here by Carl. Oh, we're going to have a timeout. Timeout was called by St. Francis. Carl Bew, you can kind of see him as they walk off the field pointing to some of his offensive linemen. A little bit of confusion on the play that they're going to run. We'll take a timeout as well, just a 30-second break. St. Francis on top, on the road against St. Ambrose, 10-0 on the USF Sports Network.
I'm okay.
You're not okay.
It's normal to have diarrhea and stomach pains.
Sometimes, but not as often as you do.
I've got this under control.
No, you don't.
It's time to let that voice inside your head be heard. Urgent diarrhea and chronic stomach pain can be signs of Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation can help you learn more and even find a specialist. Don't keep your symptoms to yourself. Get help at spillyourguts.org.
Welcome back. St. Francis leads at 10-0 against St. Ambrose. And they just showed a shot of one of the officials getting his knee iced up on the sideline. So the officiating crew down a man as well. Hopefully he'll be okay. Here we go on 4th down and 1. They flip the formation. 2 tight ends left. Gavin Day on the right. Fake to Gavin. Carl goes the other way. He needed 1 yard. He picked up 2. First down for St. Francis as they continue to march the ball. 121 total yards, 70 on the ground. You can add 3 more to that. 51 through the air. Not gaudy offensive numbers for St. Francis. They've committed their fair share of penalties as well. 3 penalties for 20 yards for the Saints. 3 penalties for 30 yards for St. Ambrose, which is double their offensive output. Just 16 total yards for the Bees. Same formation here for St. Francis on 1st and 10 from the 35 of St. Ambrose. Designed run for Carl to the right. Trying to run over a linebacker there only to pick up 2 yards. Defended well by St. Ambrose. And it's kind of surprising to see how porous the St. Ambrose defense has been this year. Especially with their new head coach being a defensive guy. Vince Phillip in his 2nd year, an All-American defensive lineman, been coaching defensive linemen, was a defensive coordinator for a few years at Kansas Wesleyan before he took over defensive coordinator spot 2 years ago for St. Ambrose. And 2 years ago, they were a pretty good defense, pretty good offense too. But last couple of years, a bit of a down year. Fake to Tumulty on the sweep. Pugh steps up in the pocket, but down he goes. It'll be another sack for St. Ambrose. Getting home, Max Gorley, the defensive end out of Dubuque, Iowa, and Carl a bit slow to get up here. That's something you definitely don't want to see if you're a Saints fan. Again, we'll have that interview with Carl Bew at halftime, about 4 minutes to go in this first half. Loss of 2 on the quarterback sack of Carl Bew. 2 wideouts right, 2 left. Carl's going to look to throw this time. Protected well, rolls right, flips it downfield, has Jake Friddle right at the 10-yard line before he spun down at the 9. First and goal for St. Francis. Again, another big pass to a tight end. Jake Friddle, his 2nd catch of the game. It's another one of those underclassmen, a sophomore out of Wilmington, now with 11 catches. And the tight ends involved in the passing game has been such a pleasant surprise offensively for the Saints this year. Both Friddle and Dan Getch having a big impact on the offense for St. Francis. Both of those guys lined up tight to the right side of the line with Gavin Day in the backfield with Carl Bew. Tumulty motions into the backfield, and we have a stoppage of play. Looks like a timeout called on the field. I believe St. Francis called that timeout with 3:12 remaining. We'll take a 60-second break as well. Saints on top 10-0 with 3:06 to go here in the first half.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your healthcare decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
Oftentimes, the wheelchairs our veterans and first responders receive from their healthcare providers are subpar at best. Some are falling apart, with a years-long waiting list for a new one. This lag causes a tremendous amount of stress for our heroes and creates a burden for their caregivers. Isolation leads to depression. We build what they need to get outdoors, hunting, fishing, or playing sports. Join the mission at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Tumble motions here as we are out of our timeout. Carry for Joey, looking for the edge. He's cut off at the 7-yard line. It'll be second down for St. Francis inside the 10-yard line again, looking for their second touchdown. Joey Tumblety took a screen pass, 29 yards for the first score of the game. Back when there was 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. Brian Mayday added a 19-yard field goal in the second quarter to make it 10-0. St. Francis looking to add a few more here. Bew will be in the shotgun. Gavin Day on his right hip. 2 tight ends, 1 on each side. Joey Tumblety, single coverage right. Bew's going to roll that way. Nothing open downfield except, he tried to find Dezion Jordan right near the goal line, but defended well by St. Ambrose. Jeremiah Crawford, the corner, sophomore out of Rockford, knocking it away, bringing up third down and goal at the 7-yard line. If there's a knock on St. Francis, it's been their opportunities in the red zone here. You like to get another touchdown. While playoff hopes are dim, it's definitely not extinguished for St. Francis. You're going to need a little bit of help, and you're going to need to make some statements to try to get back in the top 25. So a 14-0, a 21-0 win over St. Ambrose isn't going to make that statement. You need touchdowns here. Bew into the end zone, and another one will fall incomplete, bringing up fourth down, looking for Joey Tumblety, but his own defense by St. Ambrose able to knock it down. And Brian Mayday is going to come back on the field again for his second field goal attempt. Snap is good. Cooper's hold is down, and the kick is up and good. An 11-play drive that got, again, within yards of the end zone, ends with another field goal by Brian Mayday, who has kicked the ball very well as of late. I believe a 24-yard field goal for Brian. Yep, 24-yarder good. Makes the score 13-0. St. Francis lining up to kick off. We were talking about avenues to the playoffs for St. Francis. You're going to need some help since you lost to St. Xavier and you lost to Roosevelt. You like to see Olivet Nazarene win their game against Roosevelt today because Olivet is the opponent for St. Francis next week. So if you can beat the team that beats Roosevelt, at least maybe you have some semblance of an argument to be made on Selection Day. Because right now, Roosevelt's really taking over the spot that St. Francis had before that loss to the Lakers. Mayday kicks it off. Takes a hop. St. Ambrose. Well, it'll be down at the 15-yard line. I guess a fair catch called for. And even though it bounced, the return man caught it anyway, and that is where it'll be down at the 15-yard line. That's a nice kick by Brian Mayday. And on comes this St. Francis defense that has been outstanding today. Allowing just 16 total yards. -4 rushing yards for St. Ambrose today. St. Ambrose has gained 25, but they've lost 29. See if they can figure something out here on this drive with 2 minutes to go in the half. St. Francis leads at 13-0. And they're definitely not in a hurry here. And they're going to have to take a timeout. I think they're all standing up. Ambrose not getting this play in any sort of rhythm or timing. Looks like they're finally ready to go here. 2:08 to go. Casey in the shotgun. First down. There's the snap back to Tom. Fires it left through the air, and it is caught, but was it in bounds? They say it was. That's a pickup of 8 yards for Tom Casey. One of the few positive plays for this St. Ambrose offense, but when they do, it is through the passing game. Now 28 yards of passing. Again, that's not saying much, but when they have -4 rushing yards, that looks pretty good. Second down and 2. Here's Casey again looking to throw. Fires it to the right. Caught by Ward. Trying to get out of bounds and does near the 30-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. Just the third first down of the game for the Bees offense compared to 8 for St. Francis through the first almost 2 quarters here. 1:38 to go. Casey in that gun again here on first down. St. Francis rushing 3. Casey lets it fly to Yemi Ward again out near the 35. A pick of 5 yards. Finally, this Ambrose offense looking to get in a sort of rhythm here. Casey to throw again. On 2nd and 5. Big play, and that one's intercepted. They look to go down the field to Yemi Ward, and it was picked off by Jalen Cooper, his 4th interception of the season. Nice to see Jalen get another pick. It's been a while. St. Francis with their first takeaway of the game. Just when you thought St. Ambrose was getting in a bit of a rhythm, here comes that St. Francis defense to take it away. Carl Bew and that offense will take over at their 35-yard line. A 2-by-2 formation for St. Francis. 2 receivers right, 1 left, ball in the left hash of the 35-yard line. Gavin Day to the right of Carl Bew in the shotgun. Carl takes the snap. Play action to Gavin. He's going to roll right. Good protection. Fires across his body, but incomplete. Again, the passing, this one intended for Dan Getch, a bit inaccurate today by Carl. "76 yards through the air for St. Francis today, 75 on the ground. Nice balanced numbers, that's for sure. I'd like to see more touchdowns, though. They've had the ball inside the 5-yard line twice and only able to come up with field goals. Those need. So I guess it is windy in Davenport today. Watching the video was kind of hard to tell, but I just saw the ball resting on the 35-yard line just start to roll away. Here's Bew in the shotgun again. That kind of explains the difficulty throwing the ball for both teams. Blitz by Ambrose, and they get to Carl all the way to the 20-yard line. They're going to lose 15 yards on the 3rd sack of the game. The lone bright spot for the Bees today has been the pass rush. And a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. This one's called by the Bees. With 57 seconds left to go here in the half, Saints lead at 13-0.
Is your eyesight changing?
I can't read this anymore.
Don't lose hope. People just like you are working every day using Braille, screen magnification, speech technology, and other tools and blindness skills. Your eyesight may have changed, but your goals, they don't have to. We can help. Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want. 3
sacks in the game by St. Ambrose coming from two players, a sack and a half each for Colin Gudella and Max Gorley. We told you that defensive line for St. Ambrose was going to be a problem for St. Francis, and that is proving to be the case with 3 sacks in the first half alone. Thankfully for St. Francis, that St. Ambrose offense really can't do much. Here we go, Carl Bew on 3rd down and 23. Pocket breaks down again, but Carl's going to try to run for it. Gets it to about the 26-yard line, so 4th and long coming up for St. Ambrose, or for St. Francis. And another timeout called as well, and St. Ambrose wants to get one more shot with the ball in the final 48 seconds. We'll take a break as well. Final 48 seconds left of this first half. On the other side of the break, it's Saints on top, 13-0 over St. Ambrose on the USF Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Peter Sagal, and I am the second funniest person in my family, next to my late uncle, Ted Skolnick, a delightful man a dozen times sharper and wittier than I've ever been. But not a lot of people ever got to know that about him, maybe because he spent most of his life hiding his ostomy bag due to his severe Crohn's disease. He kept that a secret, but when he died last year, he left a large bequest to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, supporting the search for better treatments and support for people like him. Don't feel you need to hide your Crohn's or colitis. Go to spillyourguts.org to learn more.
Interview with Carl Bew coming up at halftime. Stick around for that. 9 minutes of some great football talk with a young man who is very, very impressive. Brian Mayday on to punt this one away for St. Francis and barely gets it off. And it'll take a St. Francis bounce. But the camera panned away from Brian Mayday as the defense was bearing down on him. And there is a flag. I thought there might be. How close they got. It's probably going to be a roughing the kicker penalty. But the officials talking about it now. Can you imagine another? Already in the first half, St. Francis was in punt formation when there was a penalty that gave him a first down. See if it was just running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. That is the question right now. It must have been just roughing, so it will be St. Ambrose football, even with that penalty. -36 total yards for St. Ambrose, -4 on the ground. They have been able to pass it just a little bit with 40 passing yards. So with the penalty, St. Ambrose will have the ball at the St. 46 after trying to punt that into a pretty strong wind. Tom Casey in the shotgun, 2 tight ends right. 5-step drop, steps up in the pocket. Tom's going to run with it now. You don't see that too often from Casey as he slides down around the 36-yard line. They mark it at the 37, quickly to the line. No huddle offense, 27 seconds to go. Probably trying for just a field goal chance here. Casey fires to the right sideline. It is complete, but they kept him in bounds. Final timeout called by St. Ambrose. With 18 seconds left to go, they'll have it at the St. Francis 30. We'll be back in 30 seconds as well on the USF Sports Network.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love, and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Taking a look at some other games in the MSFA today. Siena Heights is at Concordia. St. Francis, Indiana at Marion. They're playing right now as well. Roosevelt at Olivet Nazarene. We definitely want to keep an eye out for that game. As Olivet Nazarene, the team that St. Francis will take on next week, and that'll be a big game. Madonna's at Taylor, Judson, and St. Xavier both on a bye today. $18 seconds left to go here in our first half in Davenport, Iowa. Third down coming up for St. Ambrose. Snap back to Casey. Here comes pressure. He does get rid of it in time, but he overshot his receiver who is wide open, and it falls incomplete. We'll stop the clock at 14 seconds to go. They're in the second quarter with Roosevelt and Olivet Nazarene. We're Tigers fans today, Saints fans, but they're trailing Roosevelt by 3, 13-10 in that game. 13-0 right now, Saints on top over St. Ambrose. Casey, same play, but finds his receiver, and Jeffrey Elms, the running back out of the backfield, absolutely hammered, and another flag comes out. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It's going to be on Matthew Perry, I believe. He must have said something the officials didn't like there. Here was a nice hit by St. Francis, but some words that were not needed by Matthew Perry going to give St. Ambrose a first down and likely a field goal opportunity. I don't know if they would have kicked it from here, but you tack on the 15 with the unsportsmanlike conduct, and now you're probably gifting them at least a field goal try. And that's those mental mistakes that just cannot happen. 5 seconds to go in the half. It is first down for St. Ambrose, but I imagine they're just going to kick it and try to get on the board. Yep, on to attempt. The kick is Joe Namio, the junior out of Freeport. This will be a 30-yard field goal try from the right hash in a pretty stiff wind at Namio's back. A good snap, holds down. Kick has plenty of leg, and it is no good. The wind pushing that wide left. So Matthew Perry's penalty, while slightly embarrassing, does not lead to points for St. Ambrose. And I believe we do have one more second left on the clock. So St. Francis, I likely will just come out and take a knee. Again, don't turn this stream off at halftime because great interview with Carl Bew is coming up. You're going to learn a lot about a very impressive freshman quarterback out of Joliet West. The guys who do the interview have actual voices that work, so you don't have to listen to my chicken scratchy voice here. The knee is down into the turf, and that brings us to halftime in Davenport. A very impressive defensive effort by St. Francis. Penalties on both sides are certainly having an effect, but St. Francis pitching the shutouts so far, 13-0. We'll take a 2-minute break. When we come back, your interview with Carl Bew. Again, remember, it was recorded before last week's game, so when they talk about that kind of thing, keep that in mind. But a great interview and a look inside the mind of Carl Bew coming up in 2 minutes on the USF Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Peter Sagal, and I am the second funniest person in my family, next to my late uncle, Ted Skolnick, a delightful man a dozen times sharper and wittier than I've ever been. But not a lot of people ever got to know that about him, maybe because he spent most of his life hiding his ostomy bag due to his severe Crohn's disease. He kept that a secret, but when he died last year, he left a large bequest to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, supporting the search for better treatments and support for people like him. Don't feel you need to hide your Crohn's or colitis. Go to spillyourguts.org to learn more.
Join me to rally to read 100 books.
Reading is fundamental. The leading children's literacy organization invites you to rally to read. Visit rallytoread.org for read-alouds from popular children's authors, including Peter Reynolds, Jason Reynolds, and Elizabeth Olsen and Robbie Arnett. Plus, take the pledge to read 100 books, find fun reading activities, and teachers can enter to win 100 books for their school, subject to rules. Visit rallytoread.org today.
we gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. Join us as we lift our lanterns high. Join us. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And when we walk, cancer runs. Join us as we light the night. Find your local event at lightthenight.org.
When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you just want to feel better. Steroids help get my symptoms under control, but they come with problems and long-term risks. I need to look out for my future health. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation changed everything. They encouraged me to take action and even helped me find a specialist. We now have a plan that works for today and tomorrow. Don't put off finding an answer. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
When you struggle with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you get used to not feeling 100%. I thought that was how it had to be. Until I discovered the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. They told me about new medications that weren't around back when I was diagnosed. They helped me find a specialist who gave me a new treatment plan. I'm feeling better than I ever thought I could. Don't settle for not feeling your best. Take action today to take care of yourself. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
I'm okay.
You're not okay.
It's normal to have diarrhea and stomach pains.
Sometimes, but not as often as you do.
I've got this under control.
No, you don't.
It's time to let that voice inside your head be heard. Urgent diarrhea and chronic stomach pain can be signs of Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation can help you learn more and even find a specialist. Don't keep your symptoms to yourself. Get help at spillyourguts.org.
Oftentimes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sad news for the Fighting Saints. Quarterback Sam Tumulty out for the rest of the year with a knee, foot injury. Sad news, obviously. We saw the season he was putting together, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel here. We got Carl Bew, first returning guest on the pregame show. How we doing?
Sir, I'm good. Thanks for having me on, by the way. I'm doing fine.
No problem. And Carl Bew is actually going to be the starter the rest of the way out as far as we know it. And we couldn't be more excited. We were talking about it, I know, in the pregame show, but this is exciting for a lot of people. I know, obviously, it sucks that Sam's out because everyone knew what he was doing this year. But like I said, light at the end of the tunnel because you're a younger guy, you're a freshman here, so the future is looking really good. So the first question I got for you is, how does it feel kind of being pushed into this starter role for a team that is coming off of two, heartbreaking losses? What does it mean to you to kind of get to fill that role and try to get this team, right the ship?
Definitely for sure. The first thing I like to say is just praise up for Sam first and foremost. That really struck and hurt my heart when I had to find out the news from him like that. I'm just praying that he gets better. But honestly, I just knew that job's got to be done. You can only really dwell on it for a minute. Like, hey, you're starting, and then you got to get back to work. So I think, especially like you said, coming off the two heartbreaking losses, that were really vital for the season and playoff chances. So at this point, we're trying to finish out the season, grind it out. So that's really where my mind is, trying to just get the season finished off the right way.
Yeah, because there's still a chance for you guys to get it. And I know that it's going to take winning out. And thankfully, the schedule is very, very winnable. You got Judson this week, St. Ambrose the week after that, and then I believe Olivet, right? Yeah. And then Judson again. So winnable schedule. I think this will be a good opportunity for you to step up. My second question was, has your mindset changed, kind of knowing that you're the man in charge, the man that's supposed to lead this team for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I wouldn't. It would be wrong for me to say if it did, but I'm not gonna lie, it did. Because week by week, you're just used to just kind of sitting behind watching, and I'm not gonna say I'm not too involved with the game plan, but I'm in there, but I'm not really settled in 100%. But now when it's time for me to go, it's not a watching role no more. You got to go up and lead, so you got to take initiative with different things. You gotta be able to call out different things. So it's definitely a mindset shift for sure. When you just got to step in.
You've gone from freshman quarterback to you're a starter now in a room that is full of guys that are older than you, one. And I'm excited. I know that. So next one I got is preparation for games change at all? I know that you mentioned it when you started against Lawrence Tech, kind of stepping into that role and kind of getting more involved with everyone. Does it change at all going forward now, knowing that like the season's, I guess the season's kind of not all the way in your hands, but it's in your hands because you're the quarterback of this team.
Yeah, preparation does kind of change because first, when you're starting off, freshman quarterback in his first game, you try not to call too many things. You try to keep it down to a slim to what I'm good at, and that's pretty much what the Lawrence Tech game was. Just things I was good at mostly. So they didn't really like get me fully into the playbook. But now from the season on, like you can't like tread lightly through it. So you need the whole playbook to expand. So the preparation is definitely more in depth than how it was if I was starting just one game. But now I know I'm going the rest of the season. I need to be able to do all things within the playbook to go forward to give us a chance to win these 4 games. So preparation is definitely more intense and more extensive.
We saw it last time you started against Lawrence Tech. You went 4 for 11 for 100 yards. The yards per completion were great. Are we, without giving too much away, because I know that there's obviously a game plan in place, but without giving too much away, are we going to see you throw the ball a little more? In these weeks coming up.
Yeah, that's something that we definitely hitched on going on forward. And I know McCarthy likes to take pride in his passing ability just as much as he does with the run game. So he definitely wants to put that ball in there a little more, and I think we'll be doing that going forward.
We already saw you can run. We saw that last time out, so I'm excited to see what you can do with your arms. So, what are you most excited about going forward for the rest of the season?
Most excited about probably is just the opportunity to be able to just put on for the guys, man, put on for the teammates, and just really prove myself to them, to be I'm the guy that can get you through these next 4 games, because if it's anybody else that needs to be worried about the situation, is who's ever in the locker room. All the outside noise doesn't really matter. It's just about gaining the trust of the guys in the locker room. So I'm excited to get them wins out there, as a team. So I'm hey, this guy's good. And also for my family to be able to come out and watch the games too.
If I was a member of the Bew family, I'd be excited going forward. Speaking of the locker room, was it hard kind of getting all the upperclassmen behind you? Because like I said, you're a freshman, you're one of the youngest guys on the team. Was it hard kind of getting those 4th and 5th years guys on your side? Or not really?
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was a grind, but I think I think from the first day of camp or from the chance I got to show with Paz on, I'm not a regular freshman.
Yeah.
I kind of gained the respect, because that's definitely something I was thinking about too. But all the defensive guys, just the competition during camp and stuff like that. When you just show resilience and stuff and not backing down and things of that sort, you kind of gain that respect naturally. So I feel it's nothing extra I had to do. I just had to go play football. The guys are gonna rock with me. So yeah.
What's the mindset we're just gonna keep building off the locker room narrative, but what's the mindset in the locker room? You guys drop obviously a heartbreaker to St. X in overtime. You drop one last week to Roosevelt in a high-scoring game. What's the mindset kind of like in the locker room? Are you guys playing or feeling like you have a chip on your shoulder? What are you guys kind of going through mentally in order to get ready for these next 4 weeks?
Well, I feel like at first we kind of had this momentum building that was kind of we're the unstoppable team in this conference, and we're gonna go on with it throughout conference. We're gonna walk through people, and then heartbreak struck versus St. X. The stuff happens, one loss, but then we let one turn into 2, and so then from there on out guys, they just became more grounded with the fact that we just have to win out these games. We just have to drop our ego, what I'm saying, and we have to go win these games.
And I know that we had Scotty Batten on, the DB. We had him on the half and post game show, and he kind of said that this all comes down to you guys banding together, that brotherhood that you guys have built, throughout the summer and then throughout the whole season so far. So I think that it's going to be huge for you guys to get these next 2. I think Olivet's obviously the most challenging game on the schedule the rest of the year. So my last one is what can people expect from Carl Bew going forward? And I know I asked you this question, what can they expect as far as your career here? But I mean, what can people expect in these last 4 games where the playoffs are it'll be tough to get in, but the playoffs are kind of in your hands as a quarterback. Yeah.
People can expect. I think, like I said last time, just like a dog effort. Just the all out, just most of that I can do to try to get us to wins. And a lot of leadership too. So I think just going off what I said last time, just a lot of dog stuff. Just grinding out wins.
You know how many quotes you've had on this show that I could put on a T-shirt and it would sell?
Probably, really? A decent amount. I sound good when I...
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about the idea for the secondary, for the T-shirts that we're trying to do for the secondary?
Nah, what's that?
Legion of something. We're trying to rhyme something with boom, but we don't know what the word's going to be. So if you got any ideas...
I could think of something.
You think you could?
Yeah.
Something that rhymes with boom?
Boom. Legion of Boom. You got to give me some time to think on it.
We thought Legion is Zoom, but I think that's the group that Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman with Kansas City. And then the other one was Legion of Doom, but that's like that's a bad guy group. You know, DC Comics,
yeah,
like
DC,
it's like a bad guy group in that. So I don't know if we could really do that one.
What about like Legion of Eats? That's because our slogan is like F attitude, trust.
Yeah.
Eat, or we can reverse it by like eat. Nah. It takes some thinking.
You could do some wordplay with the eat, I think.
Yeah, you probably can.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Carl Bew, first returning guest, the starting quarterback for the rest of the year. I know that we're all excited here at the pregame show. I know a lot of Saints fans are excited, so best of luck, my man, and hopefully you guys can go out and win 4 in a row and get in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure, man.
Staying active and healthy as we age starts with strong bones. To keep your bones strong, you need calcium, vitamin D, and regular exercise. A bone density test called DEXA helps detect low bone mass and bone disease called osteoporosis. If you're 65 or older, Medicare provides free bone density tests every 2 years. Ask your doctor to schedule yours. For more information on how to be bone strong, visit pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
If you're a veteran with a service-connected disability that is directly impacting your ability to work, resources are available to help you find employment. VA's Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VR&E, can assist you with finding a job that uses your existing skills. Or, if you're interested in exploring a new field, a VR&E counselor can help you determine the right education or training options for a new career. Find out if VR&E is right for you by visiting va.gov/VRE today.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your healthcare decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
I'm okay.
You're not okay.
It's normal to have diarrhea and stomach pains.
Sometimes, but not as often as you do.
I've got this under control.
No, you don't.
It's time to let that voice inside your head be heard. Urgent diarrhea and chronic stomach pain can be signs of Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation can help you learn more and even find a specialist. Don't keep your symptoms to yourself. Get help at spillyourguts.org.
It is 13-0 as my voice continues to decline. I apologize for that. Saints on top of St. Ambrose. 13-0. Couple of field goals from Brian Mayday. I'm not sure how much longer we can continue here. My apologies for that. Carl Bew, 4 for 10 through the air for 76 yards. He does have a 29-yard touchdown to Joey Tumulty, which extends the Tumulty touchdown streak to 27 games that a Tumulty has scored. Unbelievable. Keeping that streak alive with Sam and Scotty on the bench with injury. But in this game, in the first half, Carl Bew, like we said, 4 for 10 for 76 through the air. On the ground, he's run it 16 times for 37 yards. Joey Tumulty has four carries for 25. Keenan Haley's carried it 3 times for 4 yards. Through the air, Jake Friddle, the only Saint with multiple catches. He's got 2 for 43. Joey Tumulty, the 129-yard touchdown catch. And Dezion Jordan has the catch for 4. Team numbers definitely skewed in favor of the brown and gold. 141 total yards of offense for St. Francis compared to just 56 for SAU. 65 on the ground, 76 through the air for St. Francis. 52 in the air for St. Ambrose. Just 4 rushing yards for the Bees today. They nearly have more penalty yardage than total yardage. 56 total yards for the Bees, 30 penalty yards Just 5 first downs for St. Ambrose. They are just 1 for 6 on third down. The offense having a real tough time staying on the field. With just 5 first downs and 1 third down conversion, they are 1 for 2 on fourth down. St. Francis not terribly better offensively in terms of third down conversions. The Saints only 3 for 10 on third down. They have converted their 1 fourth down attempt. St. Francis has 34 plays, averaging 4.1 per play, 26 plays for St. Ambrose, and averaging just 2.2 yards per touch. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll check that Roosevelt Olivet score and get the second half going. As long as I can keep going, I'll be here with you. It's the Saints football on top, 13-0 over St. Ambrose on the USF Sports Network.
Anderson Humane brings the Chicago comedy scene to St. Charles. Come join us for a night of comedians working for a cause on October 8th as the Second City Improv Group performs live at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. Proceeds will benefit Anderson Humane and support their mission to save lives and create lifelong connections. Tickets are $45 per person and only 900 will be sold. To purchase tickets and for more information, go to ahconnects.org/event/Second City. That's ahconnects.org/event/Second City.
When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you just want to feel better. Steroids help get my symptoms under control, but they come with problems and long-term risks. I need to look out for my future health. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation changed everything. They encouraged me to take action and even helped me find a specialist. We now have a plan that works for today and tomorrow. Don't put off finding an answer. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
Taking a look at that Roosevelt Olivet scores. They are in the final 2 minutes of that half. Olivet Nazarene winning the game. That's exactly what you want as a Saints fan. 17-13 is the score in that one. Tyler Tenner, a 48-yard touchdown run in that game for Roosevelt. Joey Mayhop actually had a pick 6 for Roosevelt. Olivet Nazarene actually doing it with special teams as well. Their star running back, Evan Leake, had a 65-yard touchdown run, matching Tyler Tenner. And then Evan Leake also had a 75-yard punt return for a touchdown, which gave the Tigers the lead with about 4.5 minutes to go in that game. Right now, again, 17-13, Olivet Nazarene on top of Roosevelt. As St. Francis and St. Ambrose ready to get things back going out in Davenport, Iowa. Nick Jake is with you live from my home studio today. They didn't really have much room for us at their new stadium. I guess they're doing it in phases in the press box, not in phase 1. So not a lot of room there, which is fine. We get to hang out here together from my home studio as we take in some Saints football. Saints 5-2 this season, 1-2 in the conference. Playoff hopes are really dashed in that loss to Roosevelt. They need to be rated in the top 8 in our area, and the area is defined in this conversation as the 2 MSFA Midwest Leagues and the Great Plains Athletic Conference, the GPAC. Your top 7 teams right now out of the GPAC, it's Northwestern, Morningside, and Dordt. In the MSFA, it's Marion, Concordia, Indiana Wesleyan, and really it's St. Xavier would be number 7. So who's that 8th spot go to, right? Is it Roosevelt? Is it St. Francis? Or is it Olivet Nazarene? Olivet Nazarene with a win over Roosevelt today. And if they can beat St. Francis next week and make a pretty strong case for that too. If Olivet Nazarene beats Roosevelt, that game becomes pretty important for St. Francis as well as they try to make a little noise, because you don't get into the playoffs, even if you are in the top 8 in your area, unless you're in the top 25 in the country as well. So they got a lot of work to do to raise some eyebrows to get back into the top 25. But they're going to have to do a little more against St. Ambrose here, as the kickoff return for the Bees is a good one up to the 42-yard line. We're back underway in the second half. But St. Francis indicating a penalty on the return, and there is. Can you believe it? St. Ambrose continues to put a bullet in their feet with penalties. This will be the fourth one for now 40 penalty yards, which is nearly as much as they have in total offensive yards, which is a credit to the St. Francis defense, keeping their offense at bay, but also really says a lot about some discipline on the side of SAU. 4 penalties now for 40 yards. See where the penalty actually happened. A very windy day in Davenport. You see the referee and officials' uniforms fluttering in the breeze. Obviously, the football uniform's too tight to see, but the baggy pants of the officials, and you actually see the ball rolling around sometimes. Just as it sits ready to be snapped, the wind will start blowing it around. So instead of having it near the 40, the 10-yard holding penalty puts it back at the 15-yard line for St. Ambrose, which is where Tom Casey and company will start. Yemi Ward motions to the right. Tons of defensive backs for St. Francis. The pitch to the outside is caught and run up to about the 26, which will be close to a first down for St. Ambrose. So far, that's really been their most successful play. The quick pass to the wide receiver on the near side, on the short side of the field, and hoping to get a few blocks. Same play to the opposite side. Yemi Ward with the grab. He takes it up to the 30-yard line. That's a pick of a 5 before he stopped by. I believe that was Keemon Reese again, who's having an outstanding day playing a new position defensively. Keemon, a linebacker by trade, but due to some injuries, playing that rover, that kind of free safety sort of spot for St. Francis. 2nd and 6, Casey to throw. Pressure coming, and they get home. Second sack of the day. This one will be all Pat Stroja. That'll be 1.5 sacks now for Pat on the day. Nice to see his emergence. He's been quiet for a few games. Has been a part of 2 sacks now and a deflected ball that led to a 4th down back in the first half. 3rd and 14 now for the Bees. At their own 20-yard line. Back to Casey. Here comes some pressure again. They can't get there. He gets rid of it. And this one's intercepted. Nick Franciscovich at the 30. The return is a touchdown. A pick 6 for number 6. The wind just killed that ball, and Nick Franciscovich returns it for a touchdown. Second interception of the game for St. Francis. Nick Franciscovich will go slam dunk over on the turnover hoop on the far sideline. First interception of the season for Franciscovich, the sophomore out of Lockport. Snaps good, holds down. Mayday's kick is up and through for the extra point. Things just getting worse and worse for the SAU offense because of this stingy defense for St. Francis. The numbers are almost unbelievable. We'll talk about those in just 30 seconds on the USF Sports Network. St. Francis up. It looks like the extra point was no good. It's 20-0.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love, and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Mayday teeing it up from the 35-yard line, ready to get things back going after the pick 6 by Nick Franciscovich. Ryan puts his right foot into it. Stiff breeze at his back. It'll be caught and returned out of the end zone. Up to the 25. Turns out to be a good choice for the Bees. And here comes more pushing and shoving and another penalty. It'll be unsportsmanlike conduct, at least on St. Francis. We'll see if they get St. Ambrose too, but things getting pretty chippy between these two teams. The only question, will it be just on St. Francis or offsetting? As it sits right now, the return was out to the 24-yard line. Here's the official call. Unsportsmanlike on St. Francis. And an unsportsmanlike on St. Ambrose. Oh, man. And an ejection. Wow, a fighting bee has just been ejected from the game. I did not see what instigated that on the return, but a fighting bee has been ejected from the game. Things getting worse and worse for St. Ambrose. I didn't see who was ejected either. St. Ambrose, a very proud athletic and football program in some very tough times right now. 0-6 this year. 0-1 in the conference. Things just go unraveling today for the Bees. A nice run here on first down, picking up about 13 is Elms out to the 39-yard line. Elms stands up limping, a little injury to insult for the St. Ambrose Bees on the first down carry. Guys, before that run for 13 yards, St. Ambrose had -4 total yards. 45 penalty yards. Unreal. Here's Elms again, inside run. Got to give it to Elms, though, who's running very tough. Up to the 44-yard line. It's a pick of a 5. I kind of think those numbers might be incorrect. So I don't think they can have -40. Another tough run of 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 as they are just giving the ball to their sophomore or their junior running back, Caden King. Caden King does have 3 fumbles this season. He hasn't lost any, which is usually just a factor of having a lucky bounce. And a new quarterback in the game as well, Joey Sprinkle, the 6'4" freshman now for St. Ambrose. They needed 1 yard, got 2 from Caden King up to the 50-yard line for a first down. In at nose tackle, Curtis Reeves, the redshirt freshman, another one of those young, talented players for the Saints. In for Mike Johnson right now. This looks like the second defense is in the game right now. Caden King, another tough 9-yard carry for the Bees up to the 46 of St. Francis. Saints up 20-0, 10.5 to go here in the third quarter, just underway. It's the first possession of the half. Snap back to their freshman quarterback, Sprinkle. The handoff goes for a first down. They pick up another 5. It's as good as the St. Ambrose offense has looked, just handing it off to Caden King. Just like that, though, he's going to come off the field. Running back Elms back in there. Yemi Ward motions right. Sprinkle hands it off to Elms. He's able to get up to the 32. And whenever St. Ambrose has gotten something going, has gotten into a bit of a rhythm offensively, something terrible happens, whether it's a personal foul penalty. They've thrown 2 interceptions as well. So even when they start to get in this rhythm, you kind of get a little nervous that something just bad is going to happen. Or good if you're St. Francis. Fullback right, handoff to Elms again. He cuts it back. Spins down to the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for St. Ambrose. Yeah, I think our live stats has went down. So I can't give you updated statistics. I apologize for that. Handoff to Elms again here on 3rd down. He needed 3, but only got 1. 4th down coming up. You imagine St. Ambrose, with the way things are going, is just going to try to go for it here with their freshman quarterback, Joey Sprinkle. Who wasn't even on the depth chart on the 2 deep. They have Tom Casey as the starter, but Jake Ackman, the junior, listed as the backup. Joey Sprinkle about 3rd on the depth chart, but getting some playing time here. 4th down and 2. Looks like they are going to go for it. They reverse it to the fullback, turns it up on the edge, and he will be shy. The defense holds for St. Francis. Turnover on downs. Devin Gallant, the tight end halfback with the carry, could not quite turn the corner on the edge. He was slowed down very well by that St. Francis defense. They hit him in the backfield. He broke that initial tackle, but it slowed him down just enough for the rest of the Saints to come and make the stop. And here comes Carl Bew and company for their first offensive possession of the second half. St. Ambrose took about half the quarter on that first drive. As Joey Tumulty motions, they give to Gavin Day. Nothing inside, actually goes back a yard for Gavin. Okay, so they do have the stats back up. And after that drive, it did turn out a little better. They now have 110 total yards of offense. St. Francis 141. But still, 4 penalties for 85 yards for St. Ambrose, which again is only slightly less than their total output offensively. 2nd and 11 after the loss of 1 from Day. They put Day in motion. Carl Bew to draw a play. Looking to make something happen as he runs outside, trying to turn it up on the left sideline. Only able to pick up 3 yards up to the 30. 3rd down and 7 for St. Francis. Update on the Roosevelt Olivet game. Just before halftime, Roosevelt able to put a touchdown on the board. It's 20-17. Roosevelt on top at halftime. Here's Carl in the gun. He'll take a snap. Wants to throw it. Nothing's open. He finally finds a comeback for Dezion Jordan. Makes one miss, and he's off to the races. There goes Dezion. He broke it to the 30, 20. End zone. Touchdown, Dezion Jordan. Breaking tackles the entire way. Dezion scores from about 65 yards. Just his 2nd touchdown of the season. But Dezion Jordan is the big play guy. Not that he's the only one, but it seems whenever he touches the ball, it goes for at least 30 yards. He averages 26.7 yards per catch, and that's going to go up after that one. Mayday's extra point is good, making it 27-0. Dezion Jordan, a 68-yard touchdown, and about 50 of those were yards after catch. What a run by Dezion Jordan. 27-0. St. Francis leads it on the road at St. Ambrose on the USF Sports Network.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your healthcare decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
Mayday. Massaging the football a little bit before he finally puts it on the tee. And with how the wind has been treating these kickoffs, I expect this to go about 4 or 5 yards into the end zone. They may return it out of there. They may not. And it actually bounces at the goal line, and it just takes a left-handed bounce. I thought it went out of bounds in play, but it must have gone a yard deep into the end zone. What a kick by Brian Mayday. That ball landed on the goal line and just bounced left and happened to go out of bounds in the end zone for a touchback. Mayday's having an impressive year kicking the ball. Made a 43-yard field goal against Roosevelt on the road to give St. Francis the lead. Unfortunately, the defense couldn't hold it in the final minutes. But Brian Mayday, the reigning MSFA Midwest Special Team Player of the Week. And here comes Joey Sprinkle and company, the freshman quarterback. Out route, and it was nearly intercepted again by Nick Franciscovich. That one, some miscommunication between Sprinkle, the quarterback, and his two receivers on that left side. He was expecting him to do something different, and when that happens, you know it's dangerous. Sprinkle, a 6'4" quarterback out of Monticello, a true freshman. This one a screen. That one hits the turf. Was it a forward pass is the question. And it was. So it'll be incomplete. Again, this offense for St. Ambrose just looking all out of sorts. Not the first time Joey Sprinkle's been in. He actually has the second most pass attempts behind Tom Casey. 30 for 55 coming into the game today for 396 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in 4 games played. Here comes the rush, and they get to Sprinkle, and he's down inside the 10-yard line. Another sack for St. Francis, and again, the St. Ambrose offense has a drive that goes backwards in gross yards. Unbelievable pursuit by that defensive line. They brought in the pass rushers on 3rd and long, and they got to Sprinkle. Brings up 4th and 25. Punter in the back of the end zone does get it off. Joey Tumulty lets it bounce. It takes the St. Francis bounce. And the offense will start at the St. Ambrose 35 after the punt out of the St. Ambrose end zone. Just a 26-yard net punt for St. Ambrose. The drive for St. Ambrose was just 3 plays for negative 16 yards. I would love to see how many drives actually went negative yards. I got to find a drive chart. As St. Francis offense on the field, pass through the air is complete. It's going to be a first down again to a tight end. This is Dan Getch's first catch of the game. Goes for 18 yards on the post route from the tight end. Wide open in the middle of the field for St. Francis. First down for St. Francis at the 18-yard line as St. Ambrose looking for more. On the ground, Keenan Haley looking to turn the corner, but flags come in, usually in the spot of holding. We'll see where they mark that football. With 4:17 to go in the third, St. Francis leads at 27-0. Yep, holding call on St. Francis. They have committed their fair share of penalties as well today. It was just a 3-yard carry by Haley, but the holding penalty against St. Francis moves it all the way back to the 27-yard line. Bew wants to throw, but here comes pressure. Checks it down to Haley, who is tackled immediately at the 28. So not much there for St. Francis. It's going to bring up second down and 17. Haley missed last week because of a lower body injury, and I'm wondering if that's affecting him because he usually doesn't go down quite as easily as he's being tackled here today. Gavin Day got the start at running back last week, had a nice productive day. No gain on that play. It is 2nd and 17. Here's Bew, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, lets it fly, has a man. Did Joey Tumulty catch that ball? If he did, it's inside the 5. It could have bounced, but no, Joey Tumulty, the ball was thrown behind him, but he was able to contort his body enough to reach back and grab it. First down and goal for St. Francis at the 3. 24-yard pass play to Joey Tumulty. Again, St. Francis has it in the red zone. Bew and Tumulty in the backfield. They give to Joey. He's looking for the boundary. He's cut off, and he's not going to break these tackles, and he will go backward, losing about 5 yards on the play. Second down and goal back to the 8. St. Francis, through the passing game, has 186 yards of passing, 23 yards per completion. St. Francis only 65 rushing yards, though, which is a bit concerning. They're going to run it with Bew this time to the short side of the field, and again, he is run out of bounds. Nice pursuit by the Bees. No gain, maybe a loss of 1 by Carl Bew. St. Francis having a real tough time running the football, and the 3 or 4 times that they've had it inside the 5-yard line, they just could not find a play to run it in. You kind of almost feel more confident in a 3rd and goal from the 10 than you did a 3rd and goal from the 2, as it gives Carl a little bit more room to pass. Haley and Day in the backfield with Carl. The Bees will bring 4. Bew, screen pass. He finds his man at the 5. Day reaches for the end zone. No, it does not. Oh, they say he was down at the 1. Incredible effort by Gavin Day with the reception out of the backfield. It looked to me like he dove across, but the official had a real good look at it and say that knee was down at the 1. So 4th down and goal at the 1 for St. Francis. I don't want to see a field goal here. You got to punch it in. Again, you need to make a statement to try to get back in the top 25. You need touchdowns, not field goals. Keenan Haley in the backfield with Bew. They've not run the ball well, and now they're going to try to throw it. Carl looking, and he's hit at the 5, and they do not get in. Another turnover on downs. failing to run the football even 1 yard in the red zone. Well defended by the Bees, but again, if there's been one bad thing about the St. Francis offense today, it has been the inability to pick up short yards in the red zone when you're right at the goal line. 3 times they have been stopped. 2 times they've gotten field goal, but they didn't settle for the field goal this time, and it cost them. But the St. Ambrose offense is at their own 4. A safety is not out of the question here. Sprinkle takes it and is given inside to Caden King. He's able to pick up 2 up to the 6-yard line. The inability to run the ball on short yardage like that might fly against St. Ambrose, but not against Olivet Nazarene, who they will have next week. Again, an inside run, King. Again, he's able to pick up about 4. Out to the 14-yard line. 3rd down coming up for the Bees. 3rd down and 1. Well, that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. St. Francis, they lead it. The defense is playing outstanding, but it really should be a lot more than 27 as they settled for 2 field goals and then a turnover on downs at the 1 for the Saints. You got to love what the score's at, though. 27-0 on the USF Sports Network.
Anderson Humane brings the Chicago comedy scene to St. Charles. Come join us for a night of comedians working for a cause on October 8th as the Second City Improv Group performs live at the Arcata Theater in St. Charles. Proceeds will benefit Anderson Humane and support their mission to save lives and create lifelong connections. Tickets are $45 per person and only 900 will be sold. To purchase tickets and for more information, go to ahconnects.org/event/Second City. That's ahconnects.org/event/Second City.
When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you just want to feel better. Steroids help get my symptoms under control, but they come with problems and long-term risks. I need to look out for my future health. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation changed everything. They encouraged me to take action and even helped me find a specialist. We now have a plan that works for today and tomorrow. Don't put off finding an answer. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
St. Ambrose will have it at their 14-yard line. And the official still holding up play here. And now finally ready to go. Sprinkle in the shotgun, the freshman quarterback. Play action, they want him to throw it. Plenty of time. Good protection. Fires down the sideline. It is caught. Was he in bounds? No. Yemi Ward was there, but Keemon Reese escorted him off the field of play and incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 10. As they flip sides of the field now, that very strong wind there in Davenport at the back of St. Ambrose. So if they're going to pass, this is the quarter. This is why they deferred at the beginning of the game. St. Francis is going to have a very tough time throwing it when they get the ball. Hand off to Elms. He's hit right away. Logan Johnson was there. Also getting up off the bottom of the pile was Carson Hansen, the freshman, the redshirt freshman out of Wilmington, who's had a nice game today. Give you an idea how good the short yardage defense for St. Ambrose has been. They have 12 tackles for a loss. Sprinkle under pressure just had to throw that one away. That's going to bring up 4th down. And you can see the frustration in the body language of the St. Ambrose offense as they trot off the field. They're going to have to punt it away. The St. Francis defense holds again. And again, the punter will be starting from their own end zone. The good thing is he has a very strong wind at his back. We'll see if he gives Joey Tumulty a chance, because whenever Joey gets the ball, fireworks can happen. Good snap. The kick is on the way. The return is set up for St. Francis. Joey's going to let that one go. A huge kick. It should be out of bounds. It did dribble out of bounds around the 38. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 30. So a 60-yard punt. That gives you an indication of how strong the wind is. A 60-yard net punt, but the punt really was kicked from the goal line, so about 70 yards through the air with about one hop at the end. Again, just indicating how strong the wind is there in Davenport, Iowa today. Just 1 minute into our fourth quarter, 27-0 Saints. Appreciate everyone sticking with us here on our YouTube channel, listening to my scratchy voice today. I'm sure some of you probably have the St. Francis broadcast on while you watch the St. Ambrose video. It's a great way to do it. The handoff went to Jake Friddle, the tight end, looking for some way to get some rushing yards, but only 2 yards there. You got to give credit where it's due to the St. Ambrose run defense. St. Francis only averaging 2.1 yards per carry today. Usually they're double that at 4.4. Here's Bew rolling, firing it into a very strong wind, and it was nearly intercepted because of it. I like where his head was at. I see where he was going. He had, I believe it was Dan Getch open on the out route, but tried to drop it in over the heads of the secondary, but the wind knocked it down just enough for it to be a near interception. Throwing the ball will be a challenge going this direction for St. Francis. 3rd down and 7 for the Saints. Two wide receivers, one on each side, two tight ends right. Here's Bew to throw again into the wind, and it is caught for Jordan. Makes one miss, and there goes Dezion again to the 40, spun down to the 35. Another field flipping catch for Dezion Jordan. The joke around the St. Francis football team is how Dezion Jordan, like pretty much every catch he has is around 27 yards. It's kind of strange how it worked out. This one, 32 yards. A couple of those after the catch. First down for the Saints at the SAU 35. Bew in the gun, two tight ends right, but they hand it off inside. I believe it was Gavin Day. He's going to lose a yard. St. Francis just unable to run the football today. Thankfully, they've had some pretty big plays. 68 yards to Dezion Jordan, 35 yards. Joey Tumulty had a 29-yard touchdown. Also had a 25-yard catch to Joey. Dezion Jordan, 3 catches, over 100 yards receiving today. Play action again. Carl wants to throw, but pressure. He's going to roll out of the pocket, throw on the run. It is complete to Dan Getch and a touchdown. 35-yard touchdown to Dan Getch to extend the lead to 33 to nothing. Dan Getch's second touchdown of the season, and he was wide open. There wasn't a bee within 10 yards of him, and it will not get that much easier for Dan Getch than that pass catch right there. Mayday on for the extra point. Hold is down, kicks up. It's good. St. Francis leads it 34 to nothing. And again, like I said, they should have at least 3 more touchdowns than they do right now. but you can't argue with the result. 34-0. Saints lead at 11:42 to go in the game. You're listening to Saints football on the USF Network.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love, and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want. Blind? Low vision? Eyesight changing? You are not alone. Connecting with blind and low vision people can provide support and expand your understanding of what is possible. We are making our own choices every day, but we are also stronger together. To learn more, visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Welcome back to Saints football. My name is Nick, and I have no voice. I apologize. It's getting worse as the game goes on. Brian Mayday has to call in some help to hold the football upright, and he finally gets a right foot into it. He's just going to squib kick it along the ground. Taken by one of the upbacks around the 35-yard line, returned up near the 41 for St. Ambrose. The Bees have been stymied by this St. Francis defense all day. Only 105 total yards, 38 on the ground, 67 through the air. They have more penalty yards than any of those rushing or passing yards. 85 yards of penalties for St. Ambrose to just 105 total yards of offense. St. Francis not great on third down, just 5 for 13, but St. Ambrose worse at 2 for 11. Here's Sprinkle, the freshman quarterback. Checks it down to the running back out of the backfield. King, he's chopped down by Nick Franciscovich around the 47. Be real close to a first down. Nope, second down. Sprinkle in the pistol this time. The handoff. It goes to Caden King again. He squeezes past the 50-yard line up to the Saint 49. That'll bring up third down and 2. Looks like the Saints have been playing with their second-string defense for much of this second half. Marcello Bernaldi, the defensive end, getting a lot of playing time. Curtis Reeves as well, and nose tackle. Here comes a blitz by St. Francis. Thrown quickly and incomplete. It's going to bring up fourth down for St. Ambrose. 4th and 2, right near the 50-yard line. They're going to go for it here, trailing 34-0 to your Saints. Ball's actually right on the midfield stripe. Roosevelt extending their lead over Olivet Nazarene. Here was Sprinkle on 4th down and 2. Throws it. It is complete to Ward, but he went backward behind the yard to gain, and he's not going to get there. He caught it past the yard to gain. He was hit, regained his footing, and then went backward, and I don't think he reestablished. So there's some question here. Does he get credit for forward progress, or is he stopped where he went backward? Because I do believe he regained that footing. So I think it's going to be a turnover on downs where they're going to actually bring out the chains here. They stretch it out, and it is short. St. Francis stops again. An unbelievable defensive stand. I believe it was Logan Johnson who came and made that tackle. St. Francis will take over at their own 48-yard line after the turnover on downs. Carl Bew in the shotgun, James Zillinger and James Williams in the game now. Handoff goes to Williams inside up the right hashes up to the 50-yard line. Actually, they only give him 1 yard. The rushing woes continue for St. Francis. They just cannot get any push up front to give any running backs any room. Starting wide receivers are on the field for St. Francis, where they're bringing in some of the reserve running backs. Carl Bew in the shotgun here on 2nd down and 9 at their own 49. Joey Tumulty wide left, Ezion Jordan wide right. Here comes a blitz. Thrown in time and incomplete. And a flag comes in. What looks to be a pass interference on SAU. Can you believe it? They will have over 100 yards of penalty yardage. It was a pass interference. So 15-yard penalty will put it at the 36 now of St. Ambrose. .9:32 to go in the ball game. St. Francis leads it big, 34-0. Tumulty motions from the left slot. They fake it to Joey. Right up the gut goes Carl. Breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races. Trying to stay in bounds, but he's wrapped up at the 17-yard line. Another big run by the true freshman quarterback, Carl Bew. Another flag, and I think it's going to be a face mask penalty. And they will move the chains another 15 yards. Actually, I think it's a half the distance to the goal situation, so the ball will go to the 7-yard line. Another first and goal opportunity here for the Saints. And here's why this is important. They have not been able to run the football on short yardage. Get a touchdown. When you're inside the 10, get a touchdown. Carl's going to roll left and look to throw, directing traffic, flips it into the end zone for a incomplete pass. Oh, the hands were on it for Joey Tumulty. He had his hands on it, but it might have been knocked away by Jerian Dunlap Jr. That was a nice throw into a stiff wind, but Joey couldn't hold on to it. That's why you got to be able to run it. The St. Ambrose defense is defeated. You got to be able to run the football here on 2nd and goal inside the 10-yard line. Something St. Francis has not been able to do, only averaging, let's see here. We'll give you that number in just a minute. Tumulty goes in motion, and a false start, or did the ball just roll away because of the wind? Oh, they're going to mark 5 yards. Yep, penalty on St. Francis. So, again, the red zone offense has been just terrible, honestly. They've been given amazing gifts by St. Ambrose. And I know it's 34-0, but it should be in the 50s by now. The defense has been outstanding, though. Here's Bew, 2nd and goal from the 14. Throwing again. This one is caught by Tumulty, and he holds on to it after a huge hit. Touchdown. Joey Tumulty, a 14-yard catch, his 2nd touchdown reception, and he got absolutely planted after making that catch And he held on. A beautiful throw from Carl Bew, no pun intended. 9:06 to go. Makes it 40-0. Mayday on for an extra point. Into the wind. It is good. St. Francis extends the lead to 41-0 with 9:06 to go in the game. Back after this on the USF Sports Network.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love, and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
We gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. Join us as we lift our lanterns high. Join us. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And when we walk, cancer runs. Join us as we light the night. Find your local event at lightthenight.org.
St. Francis dominating this 30th meeting all time between the Bees and the Saints. SAU actually leads the series 17-12 as the kickoff is mishandled by the return man for Ambrose, and he is down inside the 5-yard line. More disaster for the Bees. The kick went through his hands. He probably should have let it go. Tried to return it, slipped on the turf, and by that time, the Saints Gunners were on him, and the Bees will start at their 4. Second string defense in there. See if they can get themselves a safety. Let's go ahead and check in one more time on that Roosevelt-Olivet game. Roosevelt still leading it by 10, 27-17. About 11 minutes to go in the third quarter in that one. They scored on a blocked punt, did the Lakers. Strong run, picks up about 3 yards for St. Ambrose. Number 24 on the carry, Calvin Lee. The freshman, he's listed as a wide receiver, but got him playing running back right now. Roosevelt has a pick 6 and a punt return touchdown against Olivet Nazarene. As this inside run goes nowhere for Lee, that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 at the 8-yard line. .8:04 to go in this game, and there was never a doubt from the opening kickoff as to who is in control today. It's all Saints, 41-zip right now. Freshman quarterback Sprinkle handing it off on 3rd and 6, trying to string this one out to the left boundary, and it will be a 1st down, but a penalty flag comes in from behind the defense. The last thing that St. Ambrose needs is another penalty. Let's see who this one's on. Look like it's going to be against St. Ambrose again. Wow. They had a 1st down run and another one wiped away by a holding call against St. Ambrose. That is now 7 penalties for 117 yards. Guys, the offense has 118. Holy cow. I don't know if I've ever seen a game quite like that, especially from St. Ambrose. 3rd down and 6, play action. And they get to Sprinkle at the 1-yard line. And down he goes with a sack. He was pushed forward a yard to the 2. But 4th down and long coming up, and they have to punt it away again from deep, deep, deep in the end zone. Five-yard loss on the sack. The 4th sack of the game for St. Francis. Pat Stroja has 2.5. Mike Carver has 1. Ravi Thalisame has a half a sack. And the punt is away from the back of the end zone, and it is sailing out of bounds, and that's a great kick. If you would have kept it in bounds a little longer, but it probably went out of bounds somewhere around the St. Ambrose 40. I'm not going to lie. I thought the punter stepped on the end line as he caught that ball. But officials either didn't see it or didn't really care to call it, given the game situation, which is fine. It'll be St. Francis football starting this drive in St. Ambrose territory again. Let's see who's going to be the quarterback. Yeah, Carl Bue's still going to come out here, even though they're up 41-0. It's just his 3rd start as a true freshman, so every snap he can get of game action is extremely valuable. I assume we're going to see a lot on the run game, trying to work on that. Here's Zillinger getting it up past the 35 to the 34. That's only a gain of 3, though. One thing St. Francis has not been able to do is run the football today. Only averaging 2.5 yards per touch. Their most efficient ball carriers for St. Francis has been Joey Tumulty. He has 5 carries for 20 yards, so 4 yards per carry for him. That's the best on the team, though, for the game. In the shotgun with 2 running backs. Play action. Carl's going to throw. Long has the tight end, or has Tumulty for another touchdown. Joey Tumulty's 3rd touchdown on a simple post route, and the heads are hanging for St. Ambrose. It almost feels like they're just giving up at this point. It's just too easy now. 47-0 for the Saints. On a 34-yard touchdown to Joey Tumulty, his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. Extra point is good. $48-0 right now. St. Francis leads it. I believe we did have a missed extra point by Brian Mayday, which is noteworthy because he was 30 for 30 on extra points coming into today, 30 for 33 if you look back into last year. And I believe he's 6 out of 7 today. No, 6 for 6. I guess they tried for 2 and didn't make it. I don't remember that, but they have Brian Mayday down to 6 for 6, so he's 36 of 36 this season on extra points, which I know should be automatic, and thankfully it is for Brian Mayday, but in the NAIA, the kicking game typically not quite as automatic as you would think it to be. Here he is to kick it off after the touchdown into a strong wind. Return will start from the 10 for St. Ambrose. Up the right numbers, up to the 36. Nice return, 26-yard kickoff return. St. Francis came up with the football, Keemon Reese, but they're going to say he was down before that. $5:53 to go in the game. St. Francis 48-0 over St. Ambrose. Story of the game so far, the St. Francis defense, which has been outstanding. 4 sacks in the game, 2 interceptions, 1 a pick six for Nick Franciscovich, the first defensive touchdown of the season. Here's Yemi Ward. He's going to, I thought he was taking it to the house because he broke a couple of tackles and sprinting up the right sideline, but he stepped out of bounds at his own 47. The shutout remains intact for St. Francis. And St. Ambrose is just like, we just can't catch a break today. It is enough for a first down, however. The best pass play of the game. Pistol formation for Sprinkle, the freshman quarterback. Moves his tight end from the right to left. Twins stacked up right. Yemi Ward is incomplete and intercepted. Matthew Perry picks off the screen and houses it for a touchdown. The second pick six of the game for St. Francis. Third interception. Second, that goes for a pick six. It has fallen apart for the Bees, but this is going to look mighty good to the rest of the MSFA and rest of the NAIA for St. Francis. I know they're 0-6, but it's still St. Ambrose, and you're still trying to make some noise, trying to get back into that top 25. Mayday's kick is good. He's 7 for 7 today. I need a 60-second break. Come on back for the final 5.5 minutes of this one. Saints in a blowout, 54-0.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love, and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
We gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. Join us as we lift our lanterns high. Join us. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And when we walk, cancer runs. Join us as we light the night. Find your local event at lightthenight.org.
Mayday kicks it off as we start up again with 5.5 minutes to go. St. Ambrose going to try again, a return from the 10-yard line. Bouncing it back toward the middle of the field, and down he goes at the 27. So 17-yard return for the Bees. Just a disaster of a game for St. Ambrose, no matter which way you look at it. Their running defense has been actually pretty good. Haven't allowed St. Francis to run the ball effectively at all today. But other than that, offensively, way too many penalties. 3 interceptions, 4 sacks for the St. Francis defense. It's going to be a good ride home for the boys in brown and gold today from Davenport. Here is Sprinkle, the freshman quarterback, again in the pistol. On the ground, Lee, the ball carrier, gets into the third level up to the 37-yard line, close to a first down, maybe. It is first down on a 10-yard run by Calvin Lee, the freshman out of St. Rita. When you take a look at the roster, especially the 2 deep for St. Ambrose, you kind of get a feel for their strategy in recruiting. Here's Lee again. Keemon Reese spins him down at the 38-yard line. It seems like they like to get players from the high-level Chicagoland football programs. Bolingbrook, as you look down the 2 deep, the starters and immediate backups. Brother Rice, St. Rita, Homewood Flossmoor, Glenbard North, Marist, Notre Dame Prep, Lincoln Way East, Plainfield North, St. Charles North, Batavia. all schools that are represented on the St. Ambrose 2D, which is a good strategy. I mean, get good players from good football programs, right? Unfortunately, this year is not working out for whatever reason for St. Ambrose. Going to go to 0-7. Their new head coach, Vince Phillip, in his second year will go to 2-15 in his 2 years. Second down and 10 here for St. Ambrose. Blitz coming from St. Francis. They run right at it. Nice pickup by Lee. There was actually another penalty by St. Ambrose. It was 3rd and 15, and he picked up 6, or 2nd and 15, and picked up 6. So 3rd down and 9 for the Bees. $122 yards of penalties for St. Ambrose. 54-0, the Saints on top out in Davenport today. Lee hit in the backfield, and down he goes. Mike Carver in among the tacklers. Sergio Garcia, the defensive lineman out of St. Lawrence as well. And that brings up 4th down and 10, and again, the Bees will have to punt it away. Three turnovers for St. Ambrose today, all interceptions by St. Francis. 2 have went for touchdowns. They will punt with the wind at their back with 3:38 to go in the game. Kicks on the way. It goes over Tumulty's head. He does not really seem very interested in catching punts. This one takes a nice St. Ambrose hop to the 4-yard line where it will be down. So the St. Francis offense will come out at the 4. And with the way things are going, you kind of get a feel a 96-yard touchdown might not be out of the question. We'll find out in 30 seconds on the USF Sports Network.
Is your eyesight changing?
I can't read this anymore.
Don't lose hope. People just like you are working every day using Braille, screen magnification, speech technology, and other tools and blindness skills. Your eyesight may have changed, but your goals, they don't have to. We can help. Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Back underway in Davenport, Owen McGuire, the redshirt freshman quarterback out there to lead the offense. Tall, lengthy kid, 6'4", 225, out of Plainfield South. Coming in for Carl Bew, who's had himself a day today. 13 for 21, 311 yards through the air, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. On the ground, 20 carries for just 57 yards. The running game for St. Francis is not there today. Only 84 rushing yards, 2.5 yards per carry for the Saints. And another penalty on St. Ambrose. It's unbelievable. I was reading off Carl Bew's statistics there, and I didn't exactly see the penalty. St. Francis will have another first down up to their 21-yard line. Owen McGuire letting the play clock tick in no hurry at all with 62 seconds to go. That penalty was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. The right side carry only goes for about 2 yards. Nine penalties for St. Ambrose, now 137 penalty yards. They only have 149 yards of total offense. St. Francis at 399. But they will take a knee here on 2nd down and 8 and just let this clock wind down. So they're going to end up with just shy of 400 yards. The stats will look gaudy. Obviously, things to work on. St. Francis really unable to run the football, especially in the red zone today. That will be an issue that you're going to have to correct against the Tigers next week. McGuire under center in victory formation again. Takes the knee, and that will do it out in Iowa. Clock's going to wind on down, and the Saints will take the victory on the road and now go to 2-2 in the Midwest, 6-2 overall. Coach Curry wins game number 63 in his 12 seasons as the head coach of the Saints. 396 total yards for St. Francis today, 85 on the ground, but a huge day through the air. 311 yards of passing for St. Francis, aided by the 9 penalties for 137 yards for St. Ambrose today. The Bees end with 149 yards of total offense, 63 on the ground, 86 through the air, holding the Bees to just 2 for 15 on 3rd down. The defense came to play. 3 turnovers, 2 pick sixes, 4 sacks, and a partridge in a pear tree for St. Francis today. Let's check in one more time with that Olivet game and Roosevelt taking control over the Tigers. Just starting the 4th quarter, the Lakers have scored 5 unanswered touchdowns. Jacob Biddle going crazy. The receiver has 3 straight touchdown catches from Carson Budke for Roosevelt. They lead the Tigers 48-17. So we're hoping for the Tigers to upset the Lakers today. Not going to happen. Roosevelt making their case to be in the top 25 as well. So a win today is good, but you needed Roosevelt to stumble a little bit. Doesn't look like that is happening out in Bradley Bourbonnais today. But a big win for the Saints out in Davenport, 54-0. Next game for St. Ambrose is going to be against St. Xavier. Here's something we didn't mention, which is worth mentioning today. That St. Ambrose is actually coming off a 2-week bye. They have not played since September 30th. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and they came out super, super flat against St. Francis, and it's not going to get any easier for the Bees because next week they host St. Xavier on the 28th. For St. Francis, it is back home for senior night, last home game of the season for the Saints, a 1 o'clock kickoff at the stadium against Olivet Nazarene, which is always fun whenever the Saints and Tigers get together. Hopefully you can join us out for that one. You can watch it right here on the USF Sports YouTube page. Listen to it on WCSF, of course, as well. Big game through the air and a windy day. Saints win it 54-0. My name's Nick Jacobs. I'm going to go find myself a lozenge. I'll talk to you next week at the stadium. Saints win it 54-0 on the USF Sports Network. Take care, everybody.